Pause with me for just a moment and let's consider a passage from the book East of Eden by John Steinbeck. There's a quote within the book that says, "And now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good." And let's break it down. For those of you who haven't read the book, for context here, this is a story about a retelling of Cain and Abel. Steinbeck considered it to be his magnum opus of all of his works. And in the story, one of the themes, very much so, is this divergence of good versus evil. It happens generation after generation. And so here, this quote is delivered to a character who has just realized that she's not able to be the perfect wife for her husband. And what Lee, the character who delivers this line, tells her is that she's no longer this little girl, that she's able to lead this confession because she doesn't feel like she's good enough. And so, abandoning that idea of perfectionism, she can finally just do the good thing. And on a deeply personal level, a deeply humanistic level, I think there's something really powerful to that. If you look at the idea of perfectionism, it can be very self-aggrandizing. It's a standard that we make for ourselves in comparison to others in a way to perhaps elevate, perhaps prove to ourselves that there's some validity or value to what we're doing, versus the idea of just doing the thing and doing it to the best of our ability. Because on the other end of the spectrum, this idea of just doing good, it's very outward focused. It is focused on the other person. Am I doing something that is worthwhile for humankind, for others? Am I doing something that is worthwhile because it makes all of us better? One creates a prison for yourself, and the other just lets you be. And while the outcomes for both of these paths might be the same, the motivation behind them is very different. And I think that's what Steinbeck is challenging us to see, that the motivation makes all the difference. I'm not sure Steinbeck knew the power of words he had on his hands whenever he wrote that line, but it's just one of many throughout the novel. Highly recommend checking it out.